Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBM RPG sample video. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a simple RPG program using embedded SQL that will help you look up customers from a database table. First, I'll create a database table using SQL and insert some sample data using db2for-i inside VS Code. After that, I'll show you how to design a simple display file with SDA to present the customer information on screen. I'll cover how to create constant fields, how to add input and output fields, and how you can use indicators to enable or disable fields or show errors on the screen. Finally, I'll build a simple RPG program with embedded SQL that ties everything together to display the customer data interactively. Let's go. Okay, here I am in VS Code. The first step is to create the customers table using db2for-i. I'll run this SQL statement. Let me copy and paste it from a different screen. Okay. This will create a table named customers with 4 columns, an ID, the name, the address, and a country. Okay, so let me run it. Okay. Next, I'll insert some sample data. I'll paste it here. Okay. Well, great. Now, if I see the table contains all these customers. Cool. Well, the next thing I'm gonna do is to design the display file using SDA on the green screen. You might have here that SDA is an old-fashioned or that IBM will remove it, but that's not true. SDA is still widely used in the IBM world, especially in companies that rely on green screen applications. Yes, there are modern tools that, like RDI, with a graphical interface and mouse support, but SDA remains a fast and simple option for creating basic screens. Let me show it to you. Type start SDA to start the screen design aid. Okay. You will get 3 options. I'll choose option 1, design screens. And now I specify the source file, library, and the name of the display file I'm going to create. By default, it remembers the last one I used. Okay, I'm going to create it. The first thing I'm going to do is to add a new record. Okay, with the option 1. The record is going to be data 01. Okay, there's going to be a record. There are different options. Okay, we're going to talk about record in this video. Okay, and now we are in the screen where we can we can design the screen. Okay, well, by default the screen size is 24 lines by 80 columns. Okay, you can change it. We are going back. If you press F14, then you enter into the file level keywords. Then you can go to display sizes, and you can select here the size that you want. In a screen, we can have more than one size, but that is more advanced. Okay, we will talk about it in another video. For now, I will keep the default. Well, let's go inside the record. Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is to add to my screen the title of the program. That is gonna be customers program. Okay, as you see, I always write these constants between quotes because all that you write between quotes is a constant. Okay, so the constant is the whole sentence, not only customers or program. Okay, so and that is including in this case the spaces. Later you will be able to assign a color or an attribute to that constant. Okay, for example, we can underline our title. There's a simple way for doing that. Just write a new before the constant. Okay, as you see, it is underlined. If we want to remove it, we can write -u and it will be removed. Okay, so let's skip it. Of course, there are other different shortcuts for adding attributes. For example, we can add a color using CR, color red. Okay, we can remove it with minus and color red, CR, or color blue, etc. You can see all these options just using F1. Okay, if you see here, you can see all the different options that we have for these things. Let's now add the two function keys that I'm gonna use in my program. As always in the IBM I, we use F3 for ending a program, end program, and I will use F12 for cancel. Okay. To assign these two functions keys to my screen, I will need to go F12. In the file level, I will add the F3 function, because whatever different record I am in the display file, F3 will be available. Okay, so let's go to F14. Let's go now to indicator keywords, and let's add here CF3, and here I'm gonna write a 03, okay, and a text and program. Well, this means that well, CF means that this is a function key. Okay, if we need an attention key, I will use CA. Okay, I will declare the F12 function at the record level. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside. Sorry, I'm gonna write here an 8, and in the indicator keywords, I'm gonna write here cancel. Okay. Now let's add the rest of the constants to my screen. Let's go here to write the customer. Customer. Okay. The name, address, country. For customer, I will add a numeric field of 5 positions using +9 and between brackets the size of the numeric field, in this case 50. Using a 9 for adding a numeric field, it will create an input-output field. If I want an output field, I will need to add a 6, for example this way. Okay, and if I want to add an input field, then I'm going to use a 3. Okay, well, let's remove them with a D, and now let's add an editing keyword for my field. Okay, let's go here to the options, and in editing keywords, I'm going to add a seed in the edit code. Okay, well, let me now add the fields for name, address, and country. These fields are character fields, so I cannot add them using a 3, 6, or 9. In this case, for input fields, I need an I, for output fields an O, and for input-output a B. In this case, I will add output fields, so I will write an O and a 40. Okay, here again, and I will add an O and a 20 in this case. Well, let me now assign these fields with high intensity. Okay, just write in here an H before the fields. Okay, we are ready now for adding the name of the fields and other options. Well, before I need to center the data into the screen. Okay, so let me add an AC before the title, so the text will be centered in the screen. Okay, and for the rest of the fields, we can do a tip. We can do something like this. We can create here this constant. We can center it, and then we can move everything to center it like this constant. Okay, we can do something like this. We can put here an equal. This is indicating the destination place for all the fields that I'm going to select. I can select it with a hyphen this way. Okay, I can do it again this way, and also we can select more than one field together using two hyphens this way. I'm selecting a block and moving it to the destination place. Okay, and now we can remove this field. Well, we have other options for moving fields one or two places that are using the greater than and minus than buttons. Well, now let me add the name of the fields. Okay, for customer, we are gonna add here custoide ID, cust name, cust add, and customer country, for example. Okay. Well, and now let's see. When the program starts, I only want to show the input field. If the user enters a valid customer number, then the rest of the information will be shown. And the input field will become protected, so the input can change this field unless I press the F12 function key. To do all this, I will use display file indicators. So I have to add to my input field a display attribute. So let's do it. Let's write here an asterisk, and I will add here a display attribute. The customer ID will be protected if the indicator 50 is activated. Okay, and if it is not activated, okay, if it is not activated, it's written this way, then I want to position the cursor in that place. So I'm going to add this option too. Okay. Well, all these fields and constants, I'm going to select them, and I want them to only to be shown if the 50 indicator is activated. So let's write it. Okay, and also I don't want the F12 to be shown if the indicator 50 is not activated. So I will do the same as in these other fields. Okay. Well, if we want to know, if we want to see if this is correctly well done, we can press the F6 button and press here yes to activate indicators. Okay, and if I press enter, then I will see the screen as all the indicators are off. Okay, if we want to activate the indicator 50, then I have to write here the indicator 50, and then I will see everything that is activated when the indicator is on. Okay, well, this is a very good option to see if everything is okay. The other thing that I want to do is to make the F12 to not only to be shown or not if the indicator is activated or not. I also want the program not to hear when you press the keyword. Okay, so that is done this way. In the indicator keywords, I can select here the indicator, and this will work only if this indicator is activated. Okay. Okay, one more thing. Let's add some text, error text, if the user enters a wrong customer number. Okay. For that, I can go here, measure error messages, and we can add here an indicator and the message text that I want to show. Customer does not exist, for example. Okay. Okay, I think it is all done. I think that all this is easier to be seen when the program works, because there are many options and maybe it's hard to imagine it working. Well, the last option that I'm gonna add to my screen is the indicators area option. This option is a file level keyword, so let's activate it. General, and let's indicate here a yes in this option, separate indicators area. All is done, so let's create a display file. For that, we only have to press here and enter, and then it automatically will create it in my library. Okay. So now let's create the RPG program that will use the display file. Okay, let's go again to VS Code, and in the Code for I extension, let's add a new RPG source program. We're gonna add here, and the program is going to be an SQL RPGLE because I'm going to use SQL functions. Okay, and now let me add some code. We're going to make a program without the cycle, with a main procedure, and with the activation group new. I'm going to use new activation group in this case because I want the system to close everything when the program ends. Okay. Well, let me declare the screen. Well, the screen file is declared as this. I have to add here this structure, and this is gonna be the display indicator area. Okay, so let's add it. That is gonna be a qualified structure, and well, I'm gonna declare here F3. There's an indicator, and it is in the position number 3. Okay, this will be activated if someone in the program press the F3 function key. F12 and error 31 and show data, that is the indicator 50. Okay, so this way we have the indicators F3 in the position 3, F12 in the position 12, the indicator for the error 31, they show that data indicator that is in the position 50 for the indicator 50, etc. Okay. Well, I need some other fields to declare. I will declare an indicator for the exit the program and other for the errors, possible errors. Okay. And now let me declare the main procedure. Well, let's create a loop, and this will be running until exit is on. Okay, so inside this I will show the screen, my record. Okay, and then I'm waiting here until an enter or a function key is pressed. So I'm gonna create a select here, and I will see if when test dot F3. Okay, so if someone is pressing the F3 function key, then exit is gonna be on. And the program will exit. Okay. When test indicators F12 is pressed, then customer ID is gonna be a 0. Okay, and I will not show the data. Okay, and in other case I have to check if there's any customer ID inserted. If so, then I will call a different procedure. I will create it later, and this will be a procedure that will get the data from the file, okay, from the table. So I will call it using customer ID, cast name, cast address, and customer country. Okay. Well, if error, then what I'm going to do is to activate the error. So I will get a message that indicating that the program has not found any customer with that number. Okay. Else I will show the data. Okay. Well, I think it is all done. Okay, and the only thing left is to create the subprocedure for retrieving the customer data. Get customer data. I will add an entry like this. It will returns an indicator. This will be the ID. There's a constant. Name of the customer, the address, and the country. Okay. I'm gonna create the error indicator that is off by default, and I will return the error at the end of the execution of the subprocedure. What I'm going to do inside the procedure, well, easy. I'm going to retrieve the information using SQL in this case. Select customer, name, customer, address, customer, country, into name, address, and country from my table where customer ID is equal to the ID. I think it was the ID. Yes. Okay. Well, how can I detect if the customer is found or not? Well, let's check the SQL code. If SQL code is different than 0, then error is on, and in other case I will return the error that is off. Okay, so I think it is all done. So let's compile the program. Okay, there's something wrong. Let's see. God, this field is wrong. Let's try again. Okay, and now it is done. So let's go to the green screen and let's check if everything is running okay. Okay, let's call the program. Well, you can see the input field for customer ID. If you see, there's no more information in the screen now. Okay. Also, we don't have the F12 function key visible. Okay. If I press it, F12, you see function key is not allowed. Okay, because the indicator 50 is not activated. Okay. Well, imagine that I write here customer number 1. Okay. If I press the enter key, then I'm getting this information. Okay, so the program is retrieving the information from the table, and it is putting all the information in the fields and activating the 50 indicator. So the 50 indicator is showing me the information, it is showing me the F12, it is blocking this field, so I cannot write here nothing. Okay, it is protected. And also, if I press the F12, that is the only way I can write another customer ID, then it will be enabled and all the information is hide. Okay, so we can write another customer, F12, we can write another 12, and if I write, for example, this, we can get this message, customer does not exist. Okay, so the program is running okay. Of course, we can type F3 and the program will exit. So, as you have seen, creating a simple program to show information from a database file is easy. Just using the SDA utility that is very easy to use, it's simple to create a display file that can be used for an RPG program. Of course, SDA has many other options that I have not talked about in the video. I suggest you to check them out and see how simple it is. In other videos, I will talk about how to create windows and subfiles. I hope you found this tutorial useful for understanding how to combine SQL, SDA and RPG to create interactive programs on IBM I. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.